Welcome to T's Multiverse. I'm your host, Tyrus, and on this episode, we're going to talk about the Haslab projects because how everything has really unfolded has really been interesting. I want to start off by saying this. Hasbro, you know better than to run 3 Haslab projects in the midst of the holiday season. Come on. Put on your thinking caps. I know you're trying to make money. I get that. But at the same time, live or attempt to live by your slogan. You say where fans come first. So just think about the fans. Think about the people who have all types of other responsibilities that take priority over these luxury items on your end. You really do need to put fans first by thinking these things out before you do them. All right, now that I got that out the way, I want to jump into each Haslab project. We have 3, as I mentioned earlier. First up, we have the Ghostbuster Proton Pack, which has been extremely successful. It needed 7,000 backers. Right now, as it stands, it has 13,964 backers. They did an excellent job marketing this Proton Pack, but at the same time, I feel also the success of the Afterlife movie really helped catapult the sales for this particular project. So I guess we're going to have a lot of grown adults walking around with Proton Packs because it's like it just skyrocketed. I mean, this thing just went from day one. So congratulations to everyone who put in for this and who wanted this. Congratulations to you all. Now I'm going to head over to G.I. Joe. So the G.I. Joe Haslab project has ended and it needed 10,000 backers, and the final numbers as of right now are 16,783 backers. It cleared 2 of the 3 stretch goals. The marketing campaign, the execution they gave the fans, I felt warranted the result. All the work that was put into the G.I. Joe Haslab campaign really paid off, and the numbers showed. The numbers absolutely skyrocketed in the last few days of that campaign. Congratulations to G.I. Joe fans all around the world and each and every one who's able to back this project, as well as the G.I. Joe Haslab team for putting on an excellent campaign and in actually making a Skystriker like the one that we're going to get an actual reality. It's an exciting time for the G.I. Joe brand as a whole. You know, the classified wave is doing really well. Now they're advertising a new O-ring collection. We'll see how well that does. But to get a retro Skystriker is so exciting for G.I. Joe fans and just fans of the 80s cartoon. Really exciting times for the G.I. Joe brand. And again, congratulations to everyone who was able to back this project. I've heard other people say G.I. Joe's not popular enough to warrant a Haslab project. I never understood why they would say that. They said that Star Wars is more popular. Right now, we live in an era where G.I. Joe is just as popular, I feel, as Star Wars. You have more and more collectors that are coming onto the scene who grew up watching G.I. Joe. I love Star Wars, but it's not my favorite toy line. I like G.I. Joe more than I like Star Wars. And you got a lot of people out there who like G.I. Joe better. And the numbers showed. It beat out the Rancor. And I'm going to jump into the Rancor in a moment. There's just so many other properties out there besides Star Wars. Maybe once upon a time, it was Star Wars was a clear-cut winner, but that's not the case anymore. Really happy that G.I. Joe fans show that they're here and they're just as successful or maybe even more successful right now as the Star Wars brand. Now, Star Wars is selling, but G.I. Joe is right there. So for those of you who said, oh, G.I. Joe could never have a Haslab, they don't sell as much as Star Wars, here you go. There you have it. All right, now headed over to the Rancor situation. From day one, it was clear for me to see that there was next to no effort that was put into the campaign for this particular project. I mean, they had a 3D poster of this thing for the longest before they had actually had a model that they colored. And I gotta tell you folks, I know there are a lot of people out there who wanted this Rancor, and I'm sorry that it didn't work out for you, but I just wasn't impressed with the Rancor figure. I mean, it just didn't do anything for me. It looked like a big molted piece of cheap plastic. I didn't see that this Rancor warranted the $349 price mark that it was given. I mean, I'm looking at a McFarlane toy The Violator, way more detail, looks much better than the Rancor. And it's like, what, $40? And yes, the Rancor scales much larger than the Violator or any of the other McFarlane toys. I know I'm loving the Raw 10 monster figures from McFarlane Toys. Those figures look better than the Rancor. Then on top of that, the tiers. Are you kidding me? So let's look at the tiers. You're charging $349 for the Rancor, and then you want to give fans a Gamorrean Guard for 11,000 backers. Then at 13,500 backers, you're going to treat fans, quote unquote, treat fans to some bones and a cardboard backdrop. This is the moment where fans checked out completely. I feel like, honestly, the entire campaign, the entire stretch goals that was presented to the fans was a slap in the face. So you're going to give fans a Gamorrean Guard at 11,000 backers, 13,500, you're going to give them some bones and a cardboard backdrop. Then you're going to give them this Kawankian monkey lizard at 16,000 backers. Are you kidding me? Now, this is what I would have loved. I'm hoping to get this Luke Skywalker at some point, but a newly tuned Luke Skywalker at 19,000 backers. So you're basically giving them nothing, honestly, because all of these things that you have as stretch goals, I have felt like they should have been included with the set. I mean, can you imagine giving individuals who are wanting to be in on this Rancor campaign, Gamorrean Guard, the bones, the backdrop, if you want to throw in the lizard, you can, Luke, and then the Rancor Keeper. So when they saw that the campaign was failing and just spiraling out of control, then they turned around and sent out a message saying that they wanted to give fans a Rancor Keeper. Then as a result, more individuals did jump back on the campaign, and some were still skeptical, and I definitely understand that. I feel like there was a lesson to be learned, and that the fans had spoken, and they said that, you know what? We're not going to buy just anything that you throw out here with the Star Wars brand on it. You know, you got to put some effort, you got to put some planning in place for these campaigns to be appealing to the adult collector in the midst of a time when everybody is stretched thin. Not everyone has an abundance of income to throw at each and every Haslab project. And I feel like the Hasbro team really just overlooked that entire thing, and they continue to give fans all of these Haslab projects. And I feel like that shows the lack of even trying to understand or care about their fans. Again, I know that it's a business. I know that they're trying to make money, but at the same time, you have to keep your ear to the street and understand where the consumer is and meet them where they're at. And I felt like they lost track of that, and they got tied up into trying to get the next sale, the next thing. Because on top of all of these Haslab projects, you had the Unicron, the Sentinel, Galactus, the Razor Crest. Then you had the Proton Pack. You have the Skystriker. You had the Rancor. Then you have all of these other waves of figures from Star Wars. Marvel Legends, every single day is coming out with a wave. Then you have your Transformer series. Then you have the Ghostbusters products that are out now. I mean, there's just so much that they're putting out there. And the prices are going up for these figures as well. So you factor all of that in, and it's a lot. It's a lot. And for me personally, I had came to the conclusion that I was not going to be able to back the Skystriker because I'm a huge G.I. Joe fan, and I was really impressed with their campaign and how they had really advertised this Skystriker. And I was like at a point where you have to, as an adult, you have to prioritize what is important. And these luxury items are not high on the list. So I had come to the conclusion that I was not going to be able to fund this particular project. But it turned out to where I was able to do so. But there are other people out there who are in a situation where they wanted to do it and they couldn't, because there's so many other things that take priority over these things. And that's where people are at right now with these projects and all of these announcements. Hasbro, they've really got to just think about these things. And then when you do have these campaigns, make sure that you're giving fans what they deserve. You're just not rolling out anything. You're just not throwing out a bone to just say, okay, here you go. Let's see if they jump at it. And that's what the Rancor looked like. It looked as if they were like, okay, let's just throw this out there. We prepared for the Proton pack. We prepared for the Skystriker. But the Rancor, we don't have it really ready. We don't know what we're doing. Just put some stuff together and let's see if they buy it. And the fans spoke. So I feel like the lesson to be learned from this entire thing, along with the timing was just wrong to have 3 Haslab projects going around the holiday time. But on top of that, I just feel like when you're putting out a product and you wanting it to be a success, then you got to put in the effort, you got to put in the work in order for it to be a success. Because the fans are already stretched thin with all these other things they may have going on with their responsibilities. On top of that, you have all of these other nostalgia properties that are warranting their attention as well. There's just so much for you to dive into as a collector to where you don't have to settle for a half-hearted promoted item that really has little to next to no effort put into it. So you want to make sure you're putting your best foot forward when advertising and promoting these projects so that they don't crash and burn like the Rancor. This is in no way me trying to badmouth or put down Hasbro or the Star Wars brand or team, because, you know, mistakes happen. Lessons are to be learned for that team to understand that you really have to put the effort in order to get the great results that you do want from the consumer. Hopefully they'll learn their lesson, because this is a phenomenal toy company. Despite failing on the Rancor, they've brought us so many wonderful products over the years, and I feel like they'll continue to do that. Thank you all for tuning in. Definitely share your comments below. I'm looking forward to seeing what your thoughts are on all of these projects and what Hasbro is doing as a whole. Definitely share your thoughts below. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, be sure to subscribe. Also, hit that like button. It will really help get the channel out there. Smash that bell notification so that you're notified when my videos drop. And until next time, folks, be good to one another. Be safe. Stay tuned. And I'll talk to you later. Bye for now.